Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Yes, it is officially the off season here. The season's over with and all that, but it's still Dallas Cowboy hating time because no matter what happens, the Dallas Cowboys get hated on. I'm here actually at the house doing some work and stuff on cabinets and things, and I was taking a little break and a little something to eat and stuff. I know I've got to get back on the keto. You know what? It's a conspiracy theory. I got on keto diet about 8 weeks ago, was doing great and stuff through Christmas things, lost about 25 pounds, went to Super Bowl and lost my damn mind, and gained about 10 pounds back. So I started getting back into it yesterday, and what happens? Girl Scout cookies. That's right. Girl Scout cookies that I ordered like 3 months ago come in. Little girl comes in with 4 boxes of cookies. Here you go, mister. It's $16. Ah, damn. Not Samoas and Thin Mints. Ah. But anyway, I came in, not to eat the Girl Scout cookies, but I came in and I turned on NFL Live and was catching the last bit of it to see what's going on in the NFL. And they decided to do a segment on playoff teams in the NFC. Who will still be there and who won't make it next year. Knowing that, here's the incredible thing. From the 2016 season, only one team in the NFC actually made the playoffs the next year. Pretty kind of crazy. So, in general, 3 teams, at least from each conference, won't make the playoffs next year. But let's see what they have to say on NFL Live.
It starts with conference champion Los Angeles Rams, while the NFC West, and while other division winners, the Saints, the Bears, and the Cowboys. It was the Seahawks and the Eagles who picked up the final 2 spots in the conference, which brings us to another round of still here or
I'm trying to understand the 12 or 4.
It's Field Day. It's Field.
Wendy, we are still here, back like we never left. As a matter of fact, the Rams are still feeling the sting of their Super Bowl loss.
Or is that a
Sunday.
projection for next year?
You know, in the NFL, coach, you start fretting on things, and next thing you know, you're going to be going in reverse. Will the Rams be going in reverse? Well, or will they still be here in the playoffs next year, or not be here in the playoffs next year?
Super Bowl hangover?
Well, I liked Aaron Donald's explanation of that the best, as they were sending off for the offseason. So the Rams, in my estimation, even though they aren't still there like the Patriots are, with Tom Brady said, they're still here for next year. I think they're going to control that division. I think they've got a draft in front of them. That defense will just get better. It was the second leading offense in the National Football League. I don't see much
not in the second half
back from being able to repeat that this year. Jared Goff's just going to learn.
The defense stunk.
That whole team is going to learn from that, the Super Bowl experience, and they'll get better for it.
All right, Dan, no more talk about whether it was a penalty or not. The Saints got to move forward. Still here or not here in the 2019 playoffs?
This team's going to be back in the playoffs. And this is the reason why. This team is built inside out. Their offensive and defensive lines are fantastic. Let alone having one of the most dynamic weapons in football in Alvin Kamara. Anytime you have a guy that is a home run threat, a pass catching threat, do what he wants threat, that's a good thing. And then Michael Thomas, who's become the most dominant individual or one-on-one wide receiver in the league, certainly in the conversation. Too good of a football team. And like I said, the offensive and defensive lines, those are always going to give you opportunity to win and have sustained success. They'll be back in the picture.
All right.
That's hard to argue
The
with
Cowboys surged late in the season, coach.
Okay.
Acquired Amari Cooper, but they always seem to hover around that playoff bubble. Still here or not here next year?
Didn't we win the division?
Just a little bit because I really like that defense, but I'm going to go not here. The reason is this. There's that team below. I really like how they're going to move forward. That's your team. But the Cowboys, they've got to re-sign Dak, all right, or extend Zach, all right. They have to, sign DeMarcus Lawrence. Cole Beasley's a free agent. He's an integral part as a slot receiver in that offense. They've changed offensive coordinators. There's just too many different things right now. Jason Garrett's going into being a lame duck coach. That's not easy. I've done that myself. So, again, just too many questions in that very competitive NFC East division. I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Okay. On the outside looking in, what he said does sound reasonable. However, the change of offensive coordinators, the dog would probably call better plays than what we did with Scott Linehan. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. You couldn't call games worse than what we did. We were so predictable that anything, just bringing in somebody different, is going to make an improvement, because at least it'll be a different book that they have to figure about. You got to look at Amari Cooper, who came in the middle of the season, now has an off season to work. As far as Cole Beasley goes, Cole Beasley was not really part of the offense. Yes, he should be more of the offense, more like a Julian Edelman. However, with Amari Cooper now probably going into the slot, and Michael Gallup being a deep threat, Cole Beasley is going to get lost in the mix. And as far as they got to re-sign Dak. What, do you think they're going to let Dak go? You think they're going to let Zeke go? You think you're going to let DeMarcus Lawrence? They're going to sign those guys. So I don't understand where having to sign those guys makes your team not going to repeat. Does any of this make any sense to you? Because here's what's funny. All offseason last year, everybody who made the playoffs last year were automatically ranked high. They said the Eagles, Super Bowl champions, best team in football. Minnesota, they got Kirk Cousins, they're going to be a Super Bowl favorite. New Orleans, well, they're going to be great. Atlanta, they were a playoff team. They're going to be great. Seattle, well, Seattle will be improved. Oh, Green Bay, they got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, okay. And how did all that stuff work out? But let's go on here, because now we've definitely got the haterade. Because normally, all the playoff teams they automatically say are going to be back. But they're saying the Cowboys, who got better as the season going on, are going to go ahead and go to the toilet. Whereas the Rams, which is true, they were the second-rated offense in football, but when you were scoring 50-some points against Kansas City as opposed to down the end of the year where you weren't scoring as much, it kind of skews things up, because that offense was not the same as the season went on. I'm just saying. But let's hear the rest of this.
Not here.
All right, Dan, you live in Philly, but don't let that color your commentary here. Still here or not here next year for you?
Listen, I love my wife. I like sleeping easily at night. Her family lives very close by. I also love singing the Philly fight song. Fly. No, I'm not that good. So I'm going to say they're going to get back in the playoffs. And I'm as big a Carson Wentz fan as there is. And I still go back to that 2017 where he was lighting the NFL on fire. This is a team that still has some weapons now. Maybe a receiver away or maybe a running back. But when you have a quarterback that is as good a player, as special a player as Carson Wentz, and don't forget,
who can't stay on the field.
Still cheap as long as he stays healthy, and they add pieces like Howie Roseman is notorious for doing. That team, in my opinion, not only going to be in the playoffs, they'll be in the Super Bowl picture.
Ooh, very interesting. Coach, one of the teams you know well, the Chicago Bears. Here or not?
Yes, sir. Chicago Bears won the division this year. I'm going still here. A young football team. Really
you guys see where all this is going.
Changes. Vic Fangio got the head job in Denver. Now we've got Chuck Pagano as the defensive coordinator coming in. Mitch Trubisky going into his third year. A lot of those weapons that they got last year are going to be a year better on offense. I think they'll just improve.
All right, Dan, we're going to put a bow on this segment. The Seahawks have some key free agents. Still here or not here?
Luckily, I live far away from the Pacific Northwest, so I don't have to walk around the streets of Seattle. I'm going to say not here, and this is why. So this is a team that could potentially lose Earl Thomas, could potentially lose KJ Wright.
They've already lost Earl Thomas. He's a free agent.
On defense. But, Coach, turnover differential
he wasn't part of the team except for 4
games. It really
games.
goes up and down, and fluctuates. This was the best turnover differential team in the NFL. I don't know if you're going to replicate that. Now, Russell Wilson will still play well, and Tyler Lockett's still going to be a big play receiver, and they'll certainly have that run game. I just don't know if they can overcome the Rams. And don't forget, San Francisco, with Jimmy Garoppolo healthy, in that division, could be another hurdle for this team to try and get over.
Really?
Seahawks got to find a way to extend Russell Wilson this offseason as well. We look forward to whatever Tom Brady has in store for the Patriots next.
Okay, so you see how this all goes here, right? So he's from Philly. He coached the Bears. And, of course, ESPN hates the Dallas Cowboys. And I understand, because like I always point out, the reality is repeating in the NFC East is difficult. The Philadelphia Eagles, the last time anybody repeated back-to-back was Philadelphia 2003-2004. Every year it's been a new team, and more times than not, the team in the basement comes back and ends up winning. The Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl the year before, basement. Yeah, that's how crazy the NFC East is. So I can get that where they have it. But as far as the Eagles go, they talk about, they can add a few pieces here and there, but here's the reality. If they don't franchise tag Nick Foles. Basically, they only have about $9 million of cap space. And they have a lot of players that they have to re-sign or fill holes in. The Cowboys actually have the best cap room in the division. The Cowboys have the most complete team and is the youngest team in the division. So to immediately say, the Cowboys, they got to re-sign people, and they got a new offensive coordinator, and Jason Garrett's a lame duck. Well, Jason Garrett, on the flip side of that, is actually playing for his job. And it seems like when he's been on the hot seat is when he's performed. After 8-8, when they took play calling away from him, guess what? We went 12-4 and won the division, and we're a catch-no-catch away from Super Bowl. In 2015, we ended up having a butt-ugly season. Going in the next year, he was kind of that lame duck coach again, where there were the rumors about him getting fired. And what happened? 13-3 in Dak Prescott. So, of course, then this year, going in, people kind of said, Jason Garrett, you're on the hot seat. And after 3-5, when the season looked like it was bad, and there were rumors about him being replaced and who was going to replace him, all of a sudden the team went better. So it may actually be an advantage for Jason Garrett to be on the hot seat, because that seems like when the Dallas Cowboys respond. But then again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll and a day job. But as always, thank you guys for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report. Let me go out here and get back to work. I'll see you soon.